All right. So, I'm starting something new. Something I've kind of wanted to do and have put some thought into it. And the timing just seems to be good to do it now. So, I'm just going to give you the what and the why. I'm going to start off with like just a short little Cliff Notes version. And then throughout this, I'll dive in a little bit deeper. So, the what. What I'm going to do is, who knows when, just whenever I feel like it pretty much, I'm going to record some video because I've been enjoying recording and making videos. And I'm going to add to it a chance for me to have a creative output and share some things that I've either been thinking about or just currently think about or just something I just want to talk about and share. The why, I think I've been searching for some type of creative output for a couple years now, honestly. And I was getting that while coaching, and I'm hoping to start coaching again. But in the meantime, or even hopefully continuing past that, this is going to be my creative output. So that's the Cliff Notes version. It all started, I'm pretty sure I heard it on Joe Rogan's podcast, and then it just ties in from there. He's talked about it a lot, is Dunbar's rule or law. Can't remember which one. Let's call it law. And basically what it says is our brains have the capacity for 150 people in our life. I have no idea when this rule or law, or who Dunbar is, when it was made, but it kind of makes sense. Like, before technology, you only had so much bandwidth for people that you could like keep in your life. Like, there was no need also to have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. So one of the first things I did was like, okay, I follow thousands of people on the gram. I was like, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to limit that to 150 people. And so I only follow 150 people on Instagram. I'm going to keep it at that. Like, if I follow someone new, I'll just unfollow somebody. And some of it was really easy. Like, there are some really good friends of mine I unfollowed, but it was easy to do because they either never post anything, so like, okay, that's an easy number, just remove them, or they just post like silly stuff that usually I'm either there, or B, it's just like silly stuff I don't care about, but hey, I love you, I'm just going to unfollow you on Instagram. No harm, no foul. And then I was listening to Ben Bergeron's podcast. If you don't know who Ben Bergeron is, he is a big-time CrossFit coach. I know that CrossFit has been going through a challenging time, and he's been at the forefront of like, hey, we're going to make sure we do the right thing. Like, we're not going to be CrossFit if we're not okay with the changes they make. But I guess I would say I look up to him as a gym owner and a CrossFit coach. Let's just call it a fitness coach. He believes mindset first, mindset over everything, and I completely agree with all of that he does. And he shares a lot of cool insight into how to run a gym, how to coach athletes, and basically how to make sure you're a better person before you're anything else. So I really appreciate his approach to that. And one of the things he was saying was kind of falls in line with Dunbar's rule is, okay, I guess that guy's in a hurry. One of the things he is saying is that if you're following 1,000 people on Instagram, if you're following, I'm using Instagram as an example, it can be any other source, it can be Facebook. Wow, this guy's going slow, I'm going to pass him on a bike. It can be anything that you are taking in information, and even if it's good information, like if you read, like I guess it kind of falls in line with too much of a good thing is a bad thing. But if you're reading mindset books nonstop all day, every day, it's like, okay, cool. You're like, mentally, you're there. You're good. You're getting all this good stuff. But then what are you doing with it? And a good way he explained it is treat it like well, I'm struggling to remember exactly how he explained it. But basically, it's a tunnel. And if information is flowing in nonstop, it can only flow in one direction. So if you're just sitting there constantly taking in, you're never giving out information. You're never having any creative flow. You're never helping teach others. You're never just getting your creative juices flowing because you're just all-time student, never actually applying them and never actually passing them on. So to me, I've been like, oh, what is a good way for me to do that? And I know mindset is something I really care about. And so I hope that I'm able to share some good mindset stuff through this. And just a funny story, not really funny, but it was a really good feel good story for myself. Was we were out for a birthday's friend, I believe it was last weekend. Like literally, as soon as we walked in the door, I won't share whose name it is, but it made me feel really good what they said. As soon as I walked in the door, she was like, "Oh, I was talking about you." I was like, "Oh, what'd you say?" And she basically said that like how me sharing and talking about mindset stuff gave her the ability or helped her to change her mindset. Like that was I coached her at a CrossFit gym, and that was like the biggest influence I had on her was like helping her change her mindset for the way she approached fitness. And I was like, that's awesome. Like that is a huge win. It made me feel so good. And I was like, God, I missed that. And like that's kind of another reason I want to do this is if one person gets anything out of this, then heck yeah, that's a huge win. Like, cool, we helped somebody, even if it's in the littlest way possible. Any time someone's improving, I'm happy, they're happy, it's a good thing. And so back to Ben Bergeron and what he was saying is you want to find a way to share, not even share, you want to find a way just to get your creative juices flowing, if that comes out in an artistic form, if that comes out music, poems, whatever it is, like find a way. And so I honestly bought a GoPro. The main reason was to make videos with Bruno because Bruno's fun. I would definitely continue to do that. I was like, okay, this is something fun, like, because on like a weeknight, weekend, whenever, it's basically a free time moment. It's cool to like get on the computer. It's something I have zero skill in, and like editing videos, and just play around and just learn a new skill, and have fun with it. Make some cool videos. Like, and if it's not perfect, whatever, you did it. It's fun. So I'm excited to be doing that. And so combining that with I threw a mic on the GoPro. It's strapped to my helmet, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna just make videos. There'll be little editing because it's just me riding around the bike, and I'm gonna chat about what's on my mind. And I know, like, my bike, I love it. It's super fun. There's probably gonna be one day like I just want to get on here and chat about my bike. And there may be people who are like, I don't give anything about your bike. I'm just not gonna watch that. Okay, cool. But some people are like, hey, I want one of those. I want to know some things about it. What do you think about it? Because I think I've put almost 800 miles in this thing already. So that is kind of the what and the why that I'm doing this. And I really encourage anybody and everybody to find a way to do the same. Like if you're one of those, it's not a bad thing. It's like it's the way the world is set up, and I've noticed like I just keep using Instagram because it's been like I think having a relationship with your phone is like one of the hardest relationships you can have. That sounds so weird to say, but it's so true. At least for me, I was finding that how much time I was spending on Instagram was affecting my mood, and that is their job. Like the people that designed and created Instagram, their job is to get you to spend time on it. The more time you spend on it, the more ads they can sell. Like that is the way it works. So they're trying to get you to spend time on there. but I've noticed my mood is so much better the less time I spend on there. And I want to continue to try to lower that volume and just control my mood, which is so weird. It's like I control my mood by how much I spend on my phone. Like I'm gonna put this on Instagram, and that's weird because you can find good things, but I was finding myself not doing good things. I was looking at accounts that would just bringing up trauma, bringing up stress, just bringing up like nothing good. Like I would literally go look at an account, like wait, there's literally nothing positive that is gonna come out of me looking at this. So I think it's what's her name, the holistic psychologist. She posted like a week ago, basically saying make a baby promise to yourself and just keep that promise. And so like my promise has been like actually follow the time limit I have set on my social media on my phone. Like don't go over it, don't hit ignore, just follow it. And it felt so good to actually stick to that. It's been like a week, and it's just one of those, it seems so easy, but I've been able to do it, and it's been a really good thing to keep my mind in a good space. Yeah, so make those challenges, make those easy, like 1 day promises, whatever it is. If it's an hour, whatever it is, try to keep it to yourself. Try to keep yourself happy, little things that'll keep you motivated and in a good space. Question, does anybody know, like, I've seen that Victory Yards thing. Was that like a place you go hang out? I think it was the place in Plaza Midwood, the brewery we go get beer, because that's what you do at breweries. I think they're owned by the same people, I'm not sure. But there's some more bikers, all just having fun. So yeah, as anybody watches this and you have ideas, if you're like, hey, I want to hear your opinion on something, tell me what it is. And I'll just get on here for like 30 minutes tops, and I'll just jap my jaws about it. The camera, I have it mounted on my helmet. If you're like, hey, I think it'd be cool to see it mounted somewhere else, tell me. I'll try it out, just because you get different angles. Mounted on the bike. I did try one time mounting it on the actual frame. I put it in the back a little bit, but then I realized I couldn't pedal. So if I pedaled, I would have legit knocked the GoPro off and broke it. And I don't really want to do that. So if you have any like cool ideas, like, hey, mount it at this spot, let me know, I'll do it. I guess they're out for a Sunday cruise as well. It was cool seeing everybody come out at night, check out the mural. Please don't hit me. Thank you. And I've had the bike for like 3 months now. I'm already, how many miles am I at? 829 miles. I fucking love this thing. It's so fun. Just cruise around, take it to work. Weather's been pretty good for me. Haven't had any too big of scares with it. Let's go down here. I've had these conversations with friends. I've had these conversations with strangers. And it's always such a good conversation to have on that. Reminded me something I wanted to say. Because I know probably before 3 years ago, any type of deep conversation, any type of like thing that would get you thinking, that was like any type of uncomfortableness, like it just wasn't for me. It was like, I'm just the happy guy that's always happy. Nothing bothers me. Like there's no need to worry. But then I kind of discovered that was just a defense mechanism for me. I use, some people wouldn't call it comedy, but I use comedy and humor as defense mechanisms when I'm uncomfortable, when there's something I don't want to talk about. Like, I'll make a joke. They're not always good jokes, but I will talk. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the things I'm hoping to accomplish out of this, is giving people a chance who are not comfortable having those conversations, who haven't found a source to have those conversations. Like, send me a message. We'll chat. I like talking. I've always wanted to have this conversation. I don't need to talk to about. I mean, first I say go to counseling and get a therapist. That's game changing. That's life changing. having an unbiased person in your life to talk to is such a good thing. It's so helpful in so many ways. Like, even if you have that family member, that friend that you feel like you can talk to them about anything with, to me that was my mom. Oh, the bike lane is perfect. To me that was my mom for the longest time, and I still talk to her about almost everything. But there are some things that, like, she's my mom, and so she's going to give some sort of biased answer. There's going to be a little bit, even if she does it unintentionally, she's going to love me no matter what, and she's going to have a hard time saying, hey son, you screwed up, you didn't make the right decision there. Like, having an unbiased person is so helpful, and I strongly suggest it to anybody and everyone. Get that person in your life to talk to have those uncomfortable conversations. Charlotte has become such a pretty city. I think it's the 14th largest city in the U.S. now. It's kind of cool. No turn on red. Does anybody know bike? Because technically, legally, this is a bike, like a bicycle. Are bicycles allowed to run red lights and stop signs? Like, do we have to follow all the rules of the road? I mean, if it's the rule for the bike, I would definitely follow it. But I'm just curious if, like, running stop signs is strongly frowned upon. Which way are they going? They're turning. Cool. Yep, so we're in Charlotte. It's beautiful tonight. The weather's actually really nice. Hey, doggy. That kind of looks like Bruno. Hey, dude. What you doing, dude? The floppy ears. Thank you. See, everybody likes the bike. It's fun. I don't know if you can see on this building. I'll look at it when we drive by. But there's a bunch of poems painted on buildings uptown. When I was going to CPCC, my English teacher, she was the one, I don't know her exact role, but she had a pretty big role in making those happen. So I thought it was pretty cool. You can see there's one there. That's by Donald Justice. So the main point from today is that we all need some form of output. Because I think especially a lot of times when we grow the mindset, we get stuck, which it feels like we're in a good spot of, like, we're only thinking about, okay, what can I do better? How can I get, like, especially if, like, you're struggling with something, it could be like, okay, how can I get out of this? Like, I'm in something, how do I get out of it? And sometimes you don't need to get out of it. Sometimes you're meant to stay in it. Sometimes you're meant to, like, use your experience in it to help other people get out of it. Which is kind of strange because you're like, but I need to get out of it. Yeah, you do need to get out of it at some point, but maybe it's just not now. And so finding a creative output can help you with that. And if for everyone's specific situation, it may be like way off base there, but for me, that's where it's at. It's like I've been stuck in one mindset I've been struggling with to get out of for a long time. And I've done so much input. Like, when I started struggling with this, I started, like, going to counseling. I started reading growth mindset books. I started, like, listening to podcasts that were nothing about growth. Like, that's all I was doing. It's like, okay, cool, I'm learning all these things, I'm hearing all these things, I'm applying a lot of these things, but I'm still like I'm stuck in this one spot. So honestly feel like the next step for me was to like I quit being a bottleneck of this information and of these feelings and of what you're going through, and just like let it flow through you. Like when you have an emotion, feel it, let it pass, and then move on to the next thing. And so that's what this is for me. It's a way to keep stuff flowing, not to be a bottleneck thing, not to let little things get stuck in me. Like it's a way to get my feelings out, get some creative juice flowing, just take my mind off things, even though my phone is going to be lit in my face the whole time because it's just how I'm recording the video. But I'm not going to have that phone as a distraction to like go get on Instagram, go play a game. Like we all know Candy Crush is amazing, but like I've been on level 733 for like a month now. I need to move on. So it's really good. It's on the bike is like one of the few places I feel myself like 100% just like it's the only thing I'm focused on the bike, the ride, and then my mind is just able to wander and do whatever it wants. When I'm on the bike and how I have zero distractions, because if I'm at home and I'm doing something, even reading, when I'm reading, sometimes it's like, oh, I read a chapter, I read a page, or I read a paragraph, or I got to an end of a paragraph and a page. That's OCD kicking in. Like, hey, let's just take a break and play a game real quick, or let's scroll through Instagram just one time. And so being on here has been like the best way for my thoughts, just to be with my thoughts. And even if no one else gets anything out of this, it's gonna be cool for me because like I can go back. There's so many times where I have a thought. I'm like, man, I should have wrote that down. I should have done something with it. I'm sure I'm gonna have some of those thoughts on here and just say it, and then I'll have it captured for me. I can just go back, watch it, listen. I'm like, hey, there was my thought. I'm glad I got that. Let's use it. Let's apply it. So yeah, guys, I'm almost home. Yeah, and like, please, like, hit me with some feedback. Just because this is an outlet for me. Like I said, like I'm gonna say I don't care, but like I'm not really doing this for anyone other than myself. Yes, I do hope I help somebody with like, at some point, say I make 10 of these, and one person like, hey, that one thing you said, if it was just like one line, that helped a ton. If I get that, then like, amazing, like more than success. But this is really something I want to do for myself, like be creative. I feel like I'm talking to myself. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm not mad at it. These are like the thoughts I have in my head, and now I'm just saying them out loud and recording them and sharing them. And I'm getting to ride my bike, have fun, enjoy being outside. And that is it, guys. I'm back home in the neighborhood. Have a lovely day.